first day of tour, and of course it's raining. I'm now off to the Mariners Galley, one of my favourite cafes and bistros in Norfolk. If you want to know more about that, then you can come look at my vlog on the Mariners Galley that I did the other day and find out a little bit more about how it all started. It's an amazing story. But today I am going there to interview Lee, who is setting up an amazing veterans retreat charity. I'm going to find out a little bit more about all of that, what he's doing, where he's at, and how we can help. After that, I am then heading to Northampton. Going to put the tom-tom on and take the windy route, I think, for a Buddhist retreat, so I'll be quiet for a couple of days. And then I will join you again when I am back, or riding down to, my hometown of Essex. And I'm going to go out and about exploring around there.
While this is playing, then please remember to hit that subscribe button. If you like this vlog, then give it a thumbs up and share it with your mates. Thank you.
And just 10 minutes in, I'm going for a pub already. Thank goodness for my big high touring boots. It is very cold this morning. I haven't got any of my heated stuff on yet, but it's only a short little ride up here. I'm hoping that the rain would have stopped. It's forecast to have stopped by 10, but it is 10 now. So I'm hoping it would have stopped by the time I finish my interview, but this is me. And I'm sure the skies always go, look, Trina's on her Can Am. Let's rain. So this is a lovely little village of Rushall, but coming from Essex, of course, I always called it Rushall. Half Moon pub there. And just around here is the Mariners Galley. Also over here is a lovely Indian, takeaway. Over there, the ChaatMan. He's really cool homemade curries that you can order. Look him up. I'll put the link in the right up below. But for now, I'm going to go in and get me a nice cup of tea and get warm. I'm late as usual.
Oh, I've just come in here and look, the other day when I came to interview Glenn, a lot of you will know me, I was balancing boxes up to put my phone on so we can, and balancing it all there to get my recording. Look what they've bought me. Thank you. So, here I am with Lee.
Hello.
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 Hello. So I came in here a few weeks ago and I thought, oh, bingo. God, I'm a bit of a bingo girl. I love my bingo. And then I looked at your posters in here and saw about your amazing charity. So I thought it'd be really good to come and find out more from you and also tell the viewers all about it.
Yeah,
so
brilliant.
Should we kind of start with your background, really? Maybe?
Yeah. I was in the army from 1984 to 1988. And the regiment that I served with was the 1st Battalion of Royal Anglia Regiment. And my first deployment was Londonderry, Northern Ireland. Right. So that's obviously my basic training was in Basenbourne Barracks in Royston. So, and then once I passed out and got my orders through, my first posting was Londonderry. And while I was over there in the 80s, where it was really ripe, certain things happened, certain things I witnessed, and one particular day, I was sitting in the office, just come off a routine patrol, sitting in the office, writing up the report that day, and the next thing I remember, I was waking up in hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the guys that I served with, they told me afterwards what had happened, that while I was there, the IRA decided to plant a bomb outside the perimeter fence, which was 6 kegs of explosives in a van. They then command while I let it off. The building that I was in got perforated, collapsed, all on me while I was in the office. The RUC station, that got destroyed. Quite a few people got killed that day. And the guys were telling me that they came into the office where I was. They couldn't open the door, so they had to smash the door down. They found me on the ground with a load of stuff on top of me. So they started pulling me out, and that was basically, they then rushed me or helicoptered me over to Belfast Hospital, Military Hospital, and that's where I came round. So, and then from that, that was near enough the spiral down to my military career.
Right.
Because from there, from Belfast, they flew me over to London, to the Queen Elizabeth Military Hospital in Woolwich, and basically that I spent 6 months there.
Wow.
And then after that, I got released from army service. And then from then, it was, you know, I come back home to Southwold where my parents live, and from there I was trying to sort of like get back into civilian life, if you know what I mean. And then after a little while, I got jobs, you know, I started, but then there was something in the back of my mind that was like saying, you know, something's not right, something's not right, you know. From 1988 to 1999, I thought everything in myself was fine. Until certain incidents started happening, certain memories started coming forward, certain issues, certain things were just sort of throwing me over the edge. And I thought something was not right. So anyway, eventually I was then, went to my doctors. My doctors then referred me to a specialist, and it was her that actually said that I've got PTSD. Oh, right, okay. So once I found that out, it was the case of finding out if there's any information or anything out there that was available to help you with PTSD, and there wasn't.
No.
There was nothing.
No.
Once I found out that I was suffering with PTSD, I was actually trying to figure out certain ways of actually helping me deal with certain situations. And I did, and I started doing some research. I started sort of like putting things out there that was helping in me. But unknown to me, in the meantime, I was coming in contact with other veterans who were suffering with the same, you know. And I was then sort of like saying to them, well, this is what helped me get through this position, you know, this type of. And they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. So eventually, over the years, you know, I was getting myself sorted out. I was battling my demons, but I was also helping others get over theirs. So in the end, I thought to myself, well, there must be other veterans out there who are going through the same. So I then come up with the concept of what is the main thing that people, veterans, need the most. Number one, the support. Number two, somewhere that they can go to straight away. But then over the years, as it developed, various organisations started getting onto the bandwagon of the PTSD thing. And they were raising money and they was getting people at it. But there was a lot of things out there at the moment which weren't actually dealing with the crisis that a lot of the guys were actually going through. Because with PTSD, I was on the streets. I was homeless for about a year before I realised that there was a problem, and I went back to my parents' house. And I couldn't really relate to my mum or my dad. but they were also they'd also been in the armed forces anyway, so they're ex-armed forces. So but they didn't understand about the conflicts that we had to endure and what we've witnessed and all this sort of stuff. So I couldn't really relate to them, and I couldn't really open up to them. But the one thing that actually sort of like stuck in my mind, which a lot of the guys were coming to me and asking me, telling me, was about somewhere to go. That place where they could actually feel safe, secure, and be surrounded by other veterans going through the same, it's that brotherhood, basically. And that's when the idea came up about having a place for veterans to go to. And that's why we come up with the Veterans Retreat Project. The Veterans Retreat Project is basically somewhere where veterans who are homeless, ex-military that are leaving the armed forces, that haven't got anywhere to go to. So we want to be there in the forefront of it. We want to be that first point of call. And so anyway, I live in Bungay. Now in Bungay there is a 50-roomed old people's home that has actually been closed down for the last year. So I decided to inquire about it, and I found the owners, contacted the owners, and asked them would they be interested in renting or leasing to our organisation, the Housing for Veterans UK. And they said, no, we're not going to lease it or rent it, we want to sell it.
Right.
So I said, okay. I said, well, how much do you want, that you want to sell the property for? And they said 1.5 million. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fair enough. So I then put out on Facebook, which is through Bungay UK, Bungay, all the media sites, and say, look, what do you think about this idea about turning it into a veterans retreat? And they're like, yeah, it's brilliant, really good, really good. And then I explained about what is needed to get to that point. So I said, we need to raise 1.5 million. That is to secure the property, not to do it up. Else, That's just to secure it. But then I was on the mindset that if we had, my brain was just going 10 to a dozen, and I thought, well, if we had managed to get 100,000 members sign up for £5 a month, within 3 months, we'd be able to do that. And this is how my brain was working, And I thought, okay. So anyway, was it last year or the year before, we then registered as a community interest company, Housing for Veterans UK. So we've got a year under our belt. Our accounts have been put through. Everything is all, all up to date, as it were. But then I thought, well, a lot of people don't want to donate to a CIC, a company, If we were a charity, a registered charity, then we're hoping that people to start following, start believing in the cause and what we're trying to do. So before Christmas, I then done the application. We've got our trustees in place, which are also members of the organisation, who every month give their £5. So we've got that. We've put the application forward, and we're now just waiting on the Charities Commission to come forward and say, yes, we've got it. We've now changed from a CIC to a CIO. So that is going to be, really good. Yeah. But in the meantime, I'm still out there, still talking to veterans, still, campaigning on their behalf. But I just want people to get behind us, to support us.
So how can they do that then?
Well, basically what we've done is, thanks to Glenn, he's actually revamped our website. and it is absolutely brilliant. The website is veteransretreatproject.org.uk.
Okay.
And what they can do is they can go onto the website, they can read everything that we've put up, what it's all about, our aims and objectives, where we want to be to.
Okay.
And if they go on there, they'll see the donation page where they can do a one-off donation, or they can go on to the monthly donation of £5 a month. I mean, they don't have to stick to the £5. They can whatever they can afford, basically. I understand that we are in this financial difficulties. Well, I can understand that, you know. So, but anything. I mean, £5 a month. That would help us.
Okay.
You know, that would help.
And I'll put the links in the description below, so everyone can see and come straight onto the links and that. So what are the plans moving forwards? If you secure this property, then what are your hopes moving forwards with it?
The main goal is to secure the property, because without doing that, we will not be able to do what we want to do. We want to make sure that veterans that are homeless within East Anglia, okay, a lot of people don't understand that it's for East Anglia we're doing it for. We're not doing it on a national scale. No. It's for East Anglia. So the actual property has got 50 bedrooms or 50 rooms. We might have to change a couple, but the rooms, we want to make sure that it's got sleeping accommodation, their ablutions, they've got 3 meals a day. So and everything is like, it's basically it's a secure home for them. Okay, whether it's on a short term or a long term basis, it doesn't matter. And then once they're there, once they're under our care, we will then start giving them the support that they need. We could then refer them. We've got an organisation which is called PTSD Resolution. They are a fantastic charity. And the guys that I've put onto them helps them with their PTSD. They have got the people in that area. So if you've got complex PTSD, they will actually help you. Yeah. You know, they can help you. The guys that I come in contact with, it's not that complex. So I can help them. We want to then put them into training. We want to get them registered with the local GPs. So everything is in place to get them where they need to be. Yeah. Once they've done that, we would then want to put them back into the community. So they can actually, through the organisation, we will find them somewhere to rent. But once they're in the community, we still give them that support. Yeah.
Some outreach.
Exactly. We give them that support. So it's basically, it's not like, oh, here's your keys to your new apartment. End of.
Goodbye.
You know, don't call us, we'll call you. It's been like that ever since I come out of the home. But what we want to do is to make sure that when they come through our organisation, they still get that support. And that's the goal where we want to get to.
Yeah. It sounds absolutely amazing, and for just £5 a month you can support this. So I'll put the links down below. Now, just sitting here talking to you, I'm so inspired anyway by it all. I'll definitely be coming and playing bingo because I love bingo. But I am planning in June, July to ride up through Norway, and I was just going to do Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland. Everyone goes to the Arctic Circle to Nordkapp, and I wasn't going to do that because I'm riding on my own. And I ride in the rain a lot because it always comes down. I don't particularly like the cold. But for you and your charity, I will ride to Nordkapp in July.
Wow.
And I'll just give them page going so you can come and sponsor me to support this wonderful charity. So I will do that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, yeah. And that will push me to get to Nordkapp as well, like everybody else does. I like to be different. I don't like to do what everybody else does, but I'll do it, and we'll raise some money for your amazing charity.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing. It sounds absolutely amazing. And I know that a lot of bikers are veterans as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully you can come and support your fellow man for just £5 a month. And on the website, follow what's going on as well, because it's a really exciting project. And yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this today.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I'm going to be riding to the Arctic Circle in July. I will be getting some advice and some hints from my friend Johnny and Alison, who've already done it last year. So now it's cold, it's wet, and I'm just going to go the fastest route to Thornby Hall and have a couple of days out, a little bit of a retreat. So I will see you in a few days. Ta-ta for now.